As you can see here, it says the AI mode is rooted in our core quality and ranking systems, and we're also using novel approaches with the model's reasoning capabilities to improve factuality. We aim to show an AI-powered response as much as possible, but in cases when they don't have high confidence, they'll sort of go back to the traditional web search results. This is insane because it's literally telling you what is going to rank and how much it's going to be showing AI in Google. The ways in which people are gathering and searching information online is drastically changing, and you need to improve and adapt your content creation strategy in order to allow your websites to stay alive in this changing AI era. And the changes in Google's search mode underlies these changing times. In Google's keynote, they revealed AI mode, which is going to be taking a lot of traffic from the traditional SERP overviews. So right now, if we do a search on Google, this is what the traditional SERP will look like. We're going to have some overview, and then we're going to have some people also ask questions, and we're going to have the links for the actual websites, and we may have some paid advertising. Now, there's going to be a new mode, which is going to be AI mode, and this is being tested currently in the United States, and it will probably be rolled out sooner than later. And in AI mode, if we go back over here, we can see that AI mode is going to allow people to kind of do a search with Google and be able to ask follow-up questions, just kind of like a chat box. So think of Perplexity AI, the ability to search and not get information from websites, but get information that you need that's specific to the search query in which you are giving Google. So as you can imagine, a lot of people are going to choose to use the AI search mode because you can get information quickly, you can get information more relevantly, and you don't have to go out and read through each specific website or YouTube search result. You will get your answers all in one place. And that means that a lot of websites that may be ranking number 1 or within top position are not going to get the same amount of traffic that they are going to get. I predict that Google will still continue to get the same level of traffic that it's getting, but websites are going to be getting less traffic overall. So what does this mean for you? Does this mean that you just stop creating content and trying to grow your website? Absolutely not, because Google needs to get their information from some place. And for certain queries already, we see an AI overview, and this gives you an example of what the new AI mode will look like, right? We see the AI overview, it gives us the information directly, but as you can see, there are links for specific websites. So Google needs to get its information from some places, not just necessarily going to rely on, pre-trained LLM. It will have that information, but it's also going to rely on the information from Google, because Google has an inherent need to continue to have websites on Google, because a big part of Google's business is Google Ads. So it wants websites to continue to be on Google SERP and continue to pay. So you definitely still need to continue creating your content, but maybe your strategy of how you write your content may be a little bit different, which I'll be touching in a little bit. But again, going back to the point at hand is that, as you can see here, when we click on the actual information, we can see that there's sources for websites. So Google is getting its information from somewhere, and it's going to get its information from the top recommended or the top authority within that space. So you need to still continue to build your website as a top authority within the niche that you're in, and Google will naturally include those websites in its AI overview. So while more people are using AI mode and it's going to get its information from the AI mode, as you can see here, there will be specific sources, so your website can still get traffic. If people want to go a little bit more in depth, they can click on your website. As you can see, those links are embedded there. So they can click on those websites and they can be able to get more information. So now, how can you change your content creation strategy? So I've sent out an email today to kind of talk about these changes. So as we can see here, we're getting a new SERP that is more answer first SERP. So that means people want answers quickly. So what I would recommend is, instead of creating articles that are long with jargon and a lot of filler content, and optimizing for traditional SEO, we need to optimize for AI overviews and AI mode. So that means we need to prioritize complete answers. So thin intros and keyword stuffing, you don't really need to focus on that. You really need to get to the depth of the information and include information that answers the questions and answers the query that the person may be having. and include as many answers and questions that you can within your article. Google is really smart and it's able to pull out that information. As you can see here, these articles are traditional articles, but it was able to pull out the information. But we want to make Google's life a little bit easier. So I would recommend creating an article that would be kind of like an AI overview, right? Where you have the necessary information and you're focusing on answers first and complete answers within that specific search query. And it's going to be even more important to focus on your domain authority and your domain rating. So I would definitely recommend focus on building high quality backlinks so that you become an authority within that space that you're in. So Google will see you as an authority and your content will have much more weight, right? Because content, when you think about it now, it's such a commodity. Everyone can create content, right? So the only way that Google's going to be able to choose between your article or another article is that it's going to be able to look at your domain authority. If you have a lot of domain authority, if people are linking back to you, if your website is a high domain website, then it will choose you to be in the AI overview. So build hubs that answers every related sub question. So if you think about your hub, think about as many questions, as many articles that you can create, and going back to the idea of topical authority, try to build your topical authority as well, writing on every single question, every single hub. So the question is not that, is AI content going to rank? The question is, how are you going to use AI to create content that Google loves and that is going to be specific for the new changes, which is the AI overview and the AI mode. So these are things in which I'm keeping in mind as well as I continue to build out WordRocket. There's still a need for content, but you need to create content in a new way. So we are constantly improving our prompts and we will create a template that is going to be specifically for AI mode. And we're going to improve our prompts to also be able to create content that's specific for AI mode to help you increase the likeliness of ranking. We've already taken some measures by allowing users to include interactive HTML elements within their articles. And when I look at my rankings for websites and clients that I'm working on, interactive HTML elements really improve the overall quality of your article and allows it to rank a lot higher. We've also included the ability to include custom images and infographics. And again, that elevates the quality of the content which you're creating, and we are using the highest models to make sure that we're getting the most intelligent outputs as well. With all that in mind and with the new changes which we'll be making, we're optimizing for the new Google and not for the old Google. And I definitely recommend that you guys stay informed and change your content strategy to be able to rake in some of these new rankings from the AI overview. So if you guys want to use WordRocket, you can head over to app.wordrocket.ai. And if you want to read more, I definitely recommend checking out the blog post. I can link this below. Just head over to blog.google and you will be able to read all of this information for yourself.